Fates. It reveals the secrets of the past, the present, and what may come to be. Most would think me fortunate to own such a book, but I can only use it in service to others. That is my curse. It wakes, tormenting me once more, feeding on the mysteries of this world, unraveling them into opportunity. But opportunity for whom?
Hello and welcome. This is my first recorded campaign. I'm Tiny Rick. Very excited to get this going for Warhammer Total War 3 or Total War Warhammer 3. So I've been playing Total War for a couple years. I played Grimgor back in 2016 when they originally released Total War Warhammer. I've got a few hours into Rome 2 as well. Looking to start a new campaign here. This Lost God is going to be the prologue for the Warhammer 3. The Realm of Chaos is going to be the main game, or what the biggest piece is for the Warhammer 3. We're going to dive into the Immortal Empires. This is where they've taken all of the factions from Total War Warhammer 1, Warhammer 2, and they've upgraded them to the same platform for Warhammer 3.
I am Prince and Emperor.
This is a list of factions that's available for Warhammer 3.
I'm the one true kid.
We're going to play Grimgor, Ironhide. Starting army for Grimgor, got Black Orcs, Doom Diver Catapults, Orc Boys, Orc Boy Biggins, and Goblin Archers. Grimgor is the biggest of the Black Orcs. They used to come from Black Crag. We're going to start with a Black Orc Big Boss. In our WA, has a chance to contain Black Orcs. Campaign movement range plus 10% for all armies. Upkeep is minus 15% for Black Orcs and Biggin units. Income from post-battle loot is plus 30%. Plus 10 armor for all Black Orcs. And plus 12 leadership for Black Orcs. This is in Grimgor's army. Then you have your special abilities specific to Grimgor. Here's the map that is current for Warhammer 3. Grimgor used to start somewhere around here in the Black Crag, but it's been pushed a little bit east. A little bit of lore for Grimgor and the Greenskins. We're going to play this campaign on a very hard difficulty, battle difficulty at hard. Most of the other campaign settings are at default. I've brought the advice frequency down to minimal, and then time limit is limited to 40 minutes, and that way we can get into some of that late game gameplay. Ideally get a campaign finished. Let's get it going. This first loading page is generally the longest. And this being my first campaign, or the first post that we're gonna get started on this channel, we're gonna do Greenskins, very infantry heavy, not a whole lot of magic. There is some, not a whole lot of range firepower, so it's going to be very rushy. You know, we're going to get in there and get smashing, as they say. And Grimgor doesn't have a mount, so Grimgor's a foot soldier, you know, black orc to the bone. There are some faction focus guides that are also posted on YouTube. There's a campaign guide that's posted on YouTube that's very good for the greenskins. That'll go more into depth of their information. You know, so I'm gonna go over things as we're playing through here, but not as in depth as some of those other videos that are available. You know, we're looking to get through the campaign a bit here. You know, reach those victory points, short campaign, long campaign, and maybe even a domination. All right, just a smidge left. All right, let's get started.
Let's give Gork a show. Get smashing!
All right, so here's some details on how the greenskins play. Looking at the map of where we're starting here, we have Saber Mountain. Here's Grimgor, one of his black orc big bosses. Got greenskins to our left, a mountain range, and some Maelstrom to the north or above us. Looks like some Skaven with some Celeste corruption. Ogre Kingdoms to the right. Got to get past these greenskins. The Tusk Sons. Then we've got Ogres to the south. Alright. Let's check out our starting army here. With Grimgor. Got those Black Orcs. 3 Orc Boys. Goblin Archers. Orc Boy. Big Uns. And Doom Diver Catapults. We're gonna bring Scram the Ruffy into our army here. We're gonna take it to Glugzag. We're gonna fight the battle. Right here at the beginning, you always want to get, you know, as many kills as you can without losing as much as possible. That way you can get a good start on the campaign. So they're gonna bring an Orc Boss, Orc Boys, Goblins, 2 Goblin Archers, some Boar Riders, or Orc Boy, and then some Trolls. Trolls are anti-infantry, so I really got to do a number on them to start. Now these Orc Boar Big Uns are anti-large. I either need to get my arrows or my archers into these Trolls first, or I need to get these Big Uns riding boars into those Trolls, and that way I can take them off the field. These Doom Diver Catapults, they're going to make the armies, or the enemies, come to us. So there's no reason for us to rush in. Now I do like a good slog, but yeah, we're going to press them to us. Some brush right here in the middle of the field. There we go. Okay, so this is... I'm not a fan of trees. It's hard to see past, slows your troops' movements. I like an open field. We're just gonna sidestep here.
Boys, black is the new green. The immortals are ready.
I square my archer units, and that way if they have to turn, it's much easier for the unit to just turn. And then they've got their Orc Boys on the right side. We're gonna match them. Or on their left side, but mirrored, you know. Then we're gonna lock that unit. Archers can go into guard mode, and that way, once I tell them to target something, and that target starts to flee, they don't chase them. They'll stay in the same spot, and then they'll pick a different target. And here we go. Make these Doom Diver Catapults pick these Orc Boys. This can do a pretty good number on me. We're just gonna turn the formation here. And you want them to walk as much as possible, you know, instead of running, and that way they're not just getting gassed. Check out these Black Orcs while they're doing that. I like the different style of helmets, different horns. Really like this one here. Got the 2 on each side. This one's good too. Yeah. Very cool. There's Grimgor. He's the biggest of the Black Orcs. So he's the Black Orc units. He's, you know, a shoulder taller than they are. Alright, now that they're close, we're gonna ungroup. Sending them in. Side step, go forward, side step, go forward. We're gonna have them go around. Got my Big Uns into the Trolls. We're gonna focus fire the Trolls also. Get them going. These guys are gonna go around, get a flank in. Black Orcs are gonna kill the crap out of those goblins. We're gonna hex the enemy leader there. We're gonna focus him down. There we go. Now we got both Goblin Archers hooked up with some Orc Boys chasing them down. Trolls are routing. Doom divers can stop firing because they'll do friendly fire. I don't like that. Don't want that to happen.
Here we go.
Pull it back down here. We can catch those guys while we're at it.
Chopper's hat. I smell fear. Boys, get ready to war.
But you build up so many points for a wall in the middle of the battle, and you get a base weapon damage boost, armor piercing boost, and a melee attack boost.
Face for war.
These guys are...
Chopper's out.
Oh, these are orc boys. These aren't goblins. Still just whipping them.
Where's the scrap? Bring it. Slaughter.
My cabs start running those goblins down, and that way I don't have to chase them down once the battle actually ends.
Ready, boss. Boys. Face me. Boys. Ready to bash. Here we go. Boys. Ready. Let's fight. Oh boy, bigger. Boys. Moving fast.
We'll go ahead and get those trolls chased down. Definitely don't want to fight those guys again. There we go. Not bad. 59 losses. That's lost a lot of my boar boys. Trolls did a bit of a number. That's okay. We'll get them recovered. Right. We got three choices here at the end of battles. We can slaughter the captives, gain unit experience. We can eat the captives and army replenishment, or we can ransom the captives for treasury. I'm gonna ransom them because I like shinies.
Just better involve fighting.
Grimgor got himself a level here.
Let's get some.
So the blue is campaign. Campaign map buffs, sacking settlements, looting, replenishment, ambush success, upkeep. The red is for battle bonuses. So character aura leadership effect, goblins fighting, your speed for your cav, your orc infantry, so all of your battle effects. A leadership battle cry, and then all of your yellow or your bronze are your Grimgor perks. So this is what is more specific to Grimgor, or things that improve Grimgor on his own. We're going to hit this Inspiring Presence on the first one for that unit experience gain per turn, and that way, even if I don't fight anything, if I'm going a long distance without getting a fight in, my troops are still gaining experience.
War!
We're going to go ahead and take it to the settlement. We'll have to leave these guys out of the battle on this one, even though they have Goblin Wolf Riders. I don't want to lose them. I know I can replenish them. I won't be able to train some of those until a bit later. But the majority of these being goblins, I'm sure it'll still go down very, very nicely in my favor. Grimgor could probably take an entire unit of goblins, or this leadership unit of orc boys on his own. All right, we'll keep the lineup very similar. The four boys. Bring them back a little bit here. Gonna slide our archers over to take the place of, and that way once those wolf riders start coming in, we'll be able to snag them. There's these huts that are right here in the way. We're gonna post on each side of these little huts. Oh, there's another little hut right there too.
Moving fast. Not wants it.
Really enjoy the map features. Gives us something to fight around, fight between.
Get him!
Let's get him! Boys! Come, boys! Get clobbery! The Black Orcs will win! Face me! Don't want ya!
I'm gonna fit these guys right between here and go after those archers. I'm gonna focus fire those goblins. Yeah, just like that. And then we'll actually go ahead and get these guys in the fight. Look at those arrows stop flying.
Boys! Moving fast!
Gonna stab him!
Oh boy, bigger! Ready! Ready! To battle! We're the Green Tide! Come, boys!
There we go. Arrows flying into the
Stop it!
side of them here.
Oh boy, bigger!
Those guys up. They're running again.
Now we're here! Time for slaughtering! I'm the best!
Gonna kill him!
Yeah, that's definitely not their own blood. That's the goblin blood splatter. Here comes Grimgor to and this being a settlement, we don't have to chase them down. They'll be able to chase them all the way back to the settlement. "149 kills for those black orcs. Granted, it was just against goblins, but I like to see those numbers. There's only 80 black orcs in that unit, so they almost took out 2 apiece. Decisive victory indeed. So whenever we capture settlements, we have an opportunity to burn the settlement to the ground, leaving nothing and taking everything available. We can sack it, take all the gold stuff, and leave the populace very unhappy, but not taking the settlement. We can loot everything and take things from the populace and then occupy it, making them very unhappy. Or we can just occupy it as it is, not gain any shinies from the people who live there, but we also don't upset the populace. With this being the second settlement, I'm really needing this to settle fairly quickly so I can travel out of this location on adventures and conquer, get good slogs in different areas. And then for the infrastructure on my smaller settlements, I want piles of shiny stuff, and then whenever I get it bigger, I'll get a set of walls around it, or defenses up on it anyway. Second level for Grimgor, we're going to go Route Marcher. We're going to dive into these campaign buffs because I want to get down here to Renowned and Feared for that 8% upkeep, campaign movement range, and recruit rank. The Blackwork Big Bosses can also train your troops each turn, and they can also spread control. This is your your control for your provinces, your happiness. Once you get to negative 100, then your province will rebel against you, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. So the more control we're moving army through, the better once we leave it. I don't use these other four for the big bosses. Hero action cost, additional casualties. These are things that if you use your big boss outside of the army, and I don't. My bosses always travel with the army. Research is available. We're going to build that reputation for our WA. Up here is our call to WA. And there's different sections whenever you have so much reputation. At the bottom, you're a bottom feeder, and it's all negative. And then once you get to Straggler, then you get some positives with a little bit, higher construction costs. Then you get to Mobster, some more boons growing here, and then you get to the WA Manga, which is a pretty significant boost. And then if you use the call to WA, your army's pretty much double in size for no additional cost.
Gorg's fist.
Alright, can't improve anything in the settlements. End of turn 1. Just kidding, I forgot to recruit armies there. Let's just run it back real quick. It auto saves it as soon as you hit that end turn button. Alright, right back where we were, into turn 1.
Ready for murdering.
What we're just going to do different here is recruit 4 more orc boys to join the army. Right. Now we're on to turn 2. $275 factions currently, 273 factions currently on the map. But we'll watch that number dwindle as we're going on through this campaign. Alright, technology completed, so +1 reputation per turn. Now we're going to go bigger. We're going to get that growth bonus for Saber Mountain, and that way we can get this built up and get a bigger, meaner army. We're going to move Grimgor closer to Blizzard Peak here, but we're going to keep him inside the Ice Buer province. There's a province line there. That's going to take up all of his movement distance anyway. And that way we can still recruit inside the province.
I refuse.
And then we'll take the fight to Ardra, full of teeth, on the next turn. Kolek, he's going to be a big challenge right after we finish with these greenskins, no doubt. He is a large legendary lord, or he's a humongous legendary lord, I think. But he's super hard for Grimgor to fight because Grimgor is the biggest of the Black Orcs, but is not gigantic or not humongous. I don't know what the specific term is. But Kolek is a size bigger than him, so constantly will knock Grimgor down. So it's not a fair fight to go one-on-one with Kolek. He's got to be focused.
Gork's fist.
Black Orc Big Boss gained a level here. We're gonna get that spread control. And that's gonna bring our control points up. You know, so it's getting negative because we're currently fighting in the province. This is the last settlement for the province. 8 garrisoned, mostly goblins. Then Ardra's got 13. We're going to take the fight to them again. I got a giant, and that's what I'm worried about. But just a couple of orc boys, 4 total orc boys. I think we'll have this one as well. So Muncha, this goblin, is restricted to spawning here, and then all of their reinforcements are coming from here because he's standing outside of the settlement. That's gonna play very well for me because that's gonna make it available for me to pin them here. So with their numbers and the amount of army that they have is not going to surround me.
What you want? Boys.
Their reinforcements are here, and it takes them 2 minutes for the reinforcements to walk onto the map. By that time, I'll have them lined up here and be able to pin them into that. It'll force them to fight me in a very small area. I'm gonna send my 4 boys over here to hunt down that goblin.
This is it.
And they're all just gonna pack in here like the green tide they are. What else? Alright, that's it.
Run, boys. I smell fear. The war is here. Let's fight. Please want war. Shifting. Boys. Shifting. Moving fast. Shifting. Moving fast.
Everybody placed here.
Already! Moving fast! Let's go!
Oh boy, big
How are you doing? Should be able to surround him, take him out. Being a goblin surrounded by big guns on boars. And once they get squared up here, I'll be able to march them up the hill because they're going to be coming downhill on me, so that's not exactly favorable.
ready. Boys, hold one shot. Run, boys.
Moving fast! Running!
Line them up a little bit prettier, pack them in a little bit tighter, that way the archers can get an actual arch on them. Everybody stop moving, group up, move at the same time, and everybody walk. And that way they can gradually move up the hill without being gassed. We're actually gonna stop it there. These guys are gonna start throwing. Then it'll be a counter charge. This is going very well. Ungroup. That's where they're gonna be when it starts. Oh, maybe not. I guess it's up a little bit.
Grimgor! Kill the kids!
Yep, held the charge up there. That's good. That's good. That's what I'm worried about.
Boys, let's fight. Where's the scrap? Let's get some. Smash him. Moving fast. Shifting.
Get
Moving fast.
archers there. They're armor, so I don't want them to get focused for sure. I like them. What I do want them to focus.
Run, boys. Let's have it. Boys, shifting. Where's the scrap? Moving fast. This battle leads to war.
Oh man,
Moving fast.
Grimgor's fighting that giant. It's not working out very well.
Smash the kids. Run, boys. All watcher. This is it.
Let's scrap! Gotta kill him!
Right in. Yes, boss.
And go into guard mode.
Gonna kill
Get those
him!
guys there.
Boys.
Look, boys.
We want
What are you
war.
doing?
Show us the enemy. Where's the scrap? Ready to kill. Boys. Time for slaughtering.
The lads are ready! Moving fast!
The war is here. Moving fast. Boys. Here we go. Back into green. Come on then. Time for slaughtering. Run, boys.
Stab him! Who can we stab?
Moving fast. Top of jams. Slaughter. Bring it. Smash him. Better get back. Running. Attack the kids.
Goblins!
Show us the enemy. Slaughter. Find them and kill them. Shifting. Let's go.
Almost got that guy.
It's me. Run, boys. Grimgor's time. Black Horse Row. Glorious war. Say my name. Say my name.
Please, gobbies! Gonna kill him!
Choppers ready. Boys. We're the green side. This Nick needs blood. leg.
There you go. Enemy lord is wounded.
Ready to bash.
I wish that guy would fall as well.
The lads are ready!
The immortals are ready. Time to get mean. Let's fight. Wah!
There we go. Now they're breaking. Excellent. So I chose not to shoot the giant and not to kill the giant because greenskins have a feature where if you defeat the faction leader of a different greenskin faction, then you can form a confederation and everything of theirs becomes yours. So since I just defeated Ardra, Bullateef, then I'll force him to form a confederation with me, and now that giant becomes my giant. I could have focused that giant right there at the beginning. That's ideal. You know, you want to focus things that are large. I didn't try to save the trolls because in that battle, I would have still had to fight the trolls. You know, in the next battle, because you'll see in just a second where I'll form a confederation. Their war boss defeated Ardra Bullateef. I'm gonna form confederation with the Tusk Sons. And then since I've wounded him, you see here's Glugzag, where I've defeated in the first battle. I have to pick a different
The boys are pleased.
war boss from this army.
Send me to battle.
I'm gonna move
Ready for
Grimgor
me.
into Blizzard Peak. Then
You mook.
gonna move the giant and one of those orc boys. All these goblins can disappear. I'm not a fan of goblins. Grimgor, he's a black orc. You know, we like to use orcs, have orc armies.
Get some.
Also, granite spikes just became mine because of the Confederation. We're gonna tear the idols down. We're gonna make pile the shinies.
This better involve fighting.
Grimgor's 4th level. All of these are very similar. You know, bonus for sacking settlements, bonus for looting settlements, bonus for raiding, and then evasion chance when using the underway. And I'm not particular to any of these. But I have to put 4 points in this section to move on to Ironhide. I'm gonna just hit one of each to make my 4 points. Alright, so since these two are locked up and I don't use any of these other blue options, now we're just going to start getting perks for the big boss and making him a better fighter on the battlefield.
Gork's fist.
And since we just took that fight to Blizzard Peak, we can't move from Blizzard Peak, so we're going to recruit. Now I can fit 5. Just take half of my army and merge it. There's 3. Some of these smaller ones. There's 1. Goblin. There's 5. Right, and I still have a max unit count. 20 unit cards per army. And I have a commandment since I've completed a province. I own all of this province. Brag about the boss. And give it here. Or I can camp ruckus. We want that camp ruckus to promote growth in the Saber Mountain. We want this growth on our city to get big, and that way we can get bigger and meaner units.
Ready.
Alright. Now that we've confederated with them, I'm not at war with anybody. I don't have any non-aggression agreements.
Yeah, what?
Kolak is definitely a big challenge. Got a lot of very strong infantry. Granite Spikes is just a single piece of a province for these ogres to the south. The only thing I'm worried about is that there are other ogres to the south that may come up if I start fighting ogres. But we're going to go ahead and start moving to the south. Take Gorger Rock and add it to Granite Spikes and then Eagle Ears, where we'll have 2 provinces. Then we'll start diving into the Challenge Stone. At that point, we should have 2 armies stood up as well. Right. We're not going to be able to make it all the way to Gorger Rock on the first go. I'd like that replenishment, but I don't think I need it. We're just going to run down here, and then we're going to start a raiding camp. Actually, I think I do still replenish while in a raiding camp. The gold from raiding and Ogre Kingdom is not very much, though. You know, so they are as strong as they are stupid. For infrastructure, we're going to put a pile of shiny stuff here at Granite Spikes. One more turn and we'll be able to get a growth bonus on Saber Mountain.
Get it done!
As soon as I turned my back on Kolek up there, he started traveling south. Now I've got a transgression against the ogres to the south, but I have to take care of Kolek. He's not going to leave me alone at this point. He's targeted me. Growth bonus, technology researched. Grimgor also has another level up. More honestly, we're just going to move back north, back into Blizzard Peak, and then at Ice Spewer, we're going to stand up another Lord, Orc Boss, for some leadership. I like those.
Start the war!
This is the global recruitment pool, but it's almost double the cost. So it's, you know, you want to choose if you want to do that or not. How fast and how bad do you need troops?
I'll crush them all!
We're going to go from a greenskin hideout up to a greenskin camp. Give that 3 turns and we'll be able to get some more buffs here. We're now bigger. Alright. Now we're going to go to the Gobby Gobbos. Not because we use goblin units, but because on Gobbo Crackdown it gives us speed buff for infantry units and a leadership and weapon strength. Then it leads to no complaining and to pulling teeth for income and control.
Bringer of darkness.
These are very dangerous. These dragon ogres. Those are anti-infantry. They just do so much smash damage. And he has a hail cannon.
Ready for murdering.
That could be very bad.
Give me lightning!
We'll see how this goes. Pushed him back to the challenge stone. We're going to have to try and coerce him out of the challenge stone. I'm not going to be able to siege an army inside that settlement. That's going to be too much.
I'll do it. Let's find some scum.
I'll get attrition as I walk through this Chaos land. If I do a raiding camp,
Better lead to war.
there we go. A decent amount of income for raiding.
Go in. Come on.
And we're gonna move Gauze'bag up here for backup for Grimgor. Just gonna bring some more orc boys. The green tide is real. See, we've got ogres moving up from the south now. There's a whole ogre army there. Gobblers. Looks like we're about to start fighting a war on two fronts. They're gonna head for Granite Spikes if I had to guess. That's the last piece of their province.
What you want?
We're actually gonna do this here. Actually, no, we're not, because I don't want to take that attrition. Well, thanks for joining me on this Warhammer 3 Greenskins campaign. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.